Hello, my cyber babies. It's a beautiful day. It's hot, and I don't know what up in here. The whole country feel like it's on fire. And talk about being on fire. We are going to have two wonderful guests on today, Mr. Brian Townsend, and did I say Mr. Brian Townsend and Catherine. Catherine is Catherine Irving, and you all are here to talk about this concert, Artists Against Hate concert. First of all, welcome both of you to the program. Thank you for joining us today. So let
Thank
me
you.
ask you, Brian. Uh, First of all, tell me a little bit about yourself. Where you come from? You got brothers and sisters? You married? That's real.
I have a few brothers and sisters left.
When you say you have a few, oh, so there must have been a lot of y'all, huh?
There are six of us,
Uh huh.
and
Where'd you fall in line?
I was in the middle. I was the oldest of the second set.
Oh, oh,
Okay.
oh, you had sets of children.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, where are you from originally?
I'm from SoCal. I grew up in San Bernardino,
Oh,
and my father
where
was from Florida. My mother was here in California, and
Mhm.
I'm a native. Don't plan to leave. We're having all these issues, but there's no other place like California in the country.
You
So
know what? Don't even start. Don't even start, Brian. I'm like so over it. But then I'm like, well, where the heck would I go? Where am
right,
I gonna go, Captain? Where am I gonna go? You get the sunshine. When my mother got rest her soul, when she came out here to visit us, she said, I don't know how people in California could ever be sorrowful or be, just be modest. You got a blue sky every day. It's just so much sky. She was like a little kid in a candy shop. She
right.
loved it. And I said, well, Mama, you can stay here with me. She said, no, I gotta go tell your brothers and sisters. Just oh my, I was like, and you, so, especially when you're a middle child, they kind of like ignore you pretty much, and you got to step up and stand in because so you can be seen. Tell me, Miss Catherine, tell me about you. Where are you from?
Hello, I'm from Detroit, Michigan, but I've been in California since 1989.
We
Came
came at the
out here
same
to
time.
Cal State San Bernardino and
Uh-huh.
been loving it ever since.
Okay. I see, and I understand where you're from. I'm from Cleveland
All
originally,
right.
and then once you get out here and your blood get thin, like I told you, y'all better die on cue, die when it's warm because I'm not coming back there in the wintertime because it's just too cold. I can't take it. So now, tell me how you guys got involved in this concert and this Artists Against Hate concert.
Well, our newspaper, the Tri County Bulletin,
Mhm,
we have three newspapers. The Tri County Bulletin, which is based in Santa Ana.
mhm,
We have the Long Beach Leader in Long Beach, and we have the Precinct Reporter in San Bernardino in the IE.
mhm,
And we received a grant from the state of California to support their anti-hate campaign, which began during the pandemic when
mhm.
there was a lot of the anti-Asian hate, and they realized that there's just so much hate on all these groups. And in fact, with African American, we have like twice as much hate crimes versus anybody else. So they made the campaign all encompassing. It wasn't just anti-Asian hate; it was anti-LGBTQ, anti-gender, anti-black, anti-Latino. So it's a very active campaign in the state of California. And last year we had a grant as well, but we wrote stories about different issues about hate and resources to fight against hate.
Mhm,
This year we decided to do something different, and that was rather than just write a bunch of stories, we're hosting these concerts
mhm,
so that because we found all of these artists that are activists in
mhm.
their own way. And so we have visual artists, we have dance companies, we have actors that are all going to have a say in this concert about how we should fight against hate and also give resources where fighting hate is available from the state of California.
See, it just takes too much energy to hate somebody. You got to really be, something really wrong with your core with all the labels that we have out here, that we would even be thinking about that. What happened to the United States of America? And a lot of it had to do with just breaking pieces down, breaking families up, tearing down the educational system. And especially when you talk about artists who have a platform like this, it is important for us to share our resources to let people know that you're not in this dogfight, by yourself, and it's going to be a
Right.
dogfight. It continues to be. Now, Miss Catherine, tell me about you and your involvement.
Well, Maura Townsend and I go back a ways. Maura is a
Mhm,
very talented dance performer with a vision.
mhm,
and over the past, I don't know how long have I been working with Maura, 15 years, maybe more than that. Right. But she always does productions involving multimedia, using spoken word, video, and many different kinds of artists. She was a teaching artist and has been a teaching artist at Cal State San Bernardino in the past.
Mhm.
And so we sort of met there. And then through her dance company, she invited me to come along and help doing what I do. I'm primarily a director and an acting teacher. And so I help shape some of the productions. And I've had the opportunity to work with some amazing dance artists, spoken word artists. Alex Avila is a local poet who I met at UCR, who came along and we did a show with Alex. William Lacey, who is one of the singers we're featuring in this concert, and I had done a piece with Maura together. The legendary late Bill Cobb. I
Oh,
met, yeah, we just lost Bill last week, right?
it just, he was one of the people that I thought would live forever.
Mm-hmm.
We're
Oh,
from the
yeah.
same hometown, Cleveland. He came to our home. We out there, you come to my house, I'm gonna feed you real well now. We're gonna give you a lot of grease. We're not gonna do that, but I mean, he's just a powerhouse of a talent.
And
And he
and
was
a
so humble.
wonderful artist. And I met him through Maura.
Mhm.
Dwight Tribble has worked with Maura's dance company. We did some crazy project in LA. I can't remember. And then 5 or 6 years ago, I found out that Maura came through the Inner City Cultural Center, which is one of the cultural icons of the region of Southern California, right? It was the theater, performing arts, music, dance training ground for many, many, many artists who have gone on to have legendary careers. So, so given all that and the chance to party, to play with some, to play with some really first class artists, to work and then to work on a project like this, like
So
artists that
how do you bring something like this together? Because this isn't something that you just kind of throw together. This took a lot of planning, and sometimes you're pulling your hair out because especially when you're doing something new and
yeah,
getting the community to get involved and be involved. One of the big things that to this day it bothers me that the public school systems across the country took our arts.
yeah.
They took away the band, they took away theater, they took away costuming. And this is where, especially young people, they got so much energy. They need a creative outlet like this. So, how do you put a show like this together, Brian? I mean, do you just simply say, let me call Catherine and see what kind of mayhem we could cause?
That's exactly what happened.
That's exactly what happened.
Because I had the vision of showcasing the artists, but Kathy hasn't talked about herself, but she's a legendary director in theater. She's
I
she's
guess she
the
didn't
kind of
think we
person
knew
where
she was.
she can go in LA and not be overrun by fans, but the artists themselves will run to her when they see her. So there are a lot of artists that they have worked with Spike Lee and others, and when they see Kathy on the streets, they can't wait to spend time with her. And so, knowing that she's worked with my wife and helping her design some of her dance concerts in the past, she's just such a good director, pulling all these different resources together. And there's so many different types of arts. Like I said, we have dance, spoken word, we have visuals, and so she's just launching, getting all those together, bringing all the technical support necessary. And so whenever we have our planning meetings, I just kind of sit back and I just do what she tells me to do. So Kathy's in charge.
That's not entirely true, but thank you.
You
take
just
the
have a way. You just
You just have a way.
You have this light. Both of you have this light around you,
Well,
and people
thank you.
gravitate to that.
Well,
people-
I will tell you, it's really important to be a good audience member, and I'll say this especially for all the people that are tuned in today. I'm a really good trained audience member, but no different than anybody else. I see artists and I appreciate artists, and I try to remember, what skills they bring. So when Brian and I and Maura get together, I can say, hey, what about, and then, try to put people in a place where their skills can really shine.
Well, I don't think you should use that word. I'm trying. That don't, y'all ain't trying to do nothing. Y'all doing the doggone thing.
Well,
You know,
thank
when you put your hands on it, and it comes from your heart, and people can see that. People can
Yeah.
see the light that you bring, and it's so many dark spots in our society nowadays that we need that creative outlet, not just for them, because I love being entertained. I love being entertained, and that's why I'm going to the movies with black people. I love my people, but I don't go to the movies with them. When Waiting to Exhale came out, I had to see it like 4 times before I could get, because you know how we get in the thing. Girl, you should have slapped the taste out. Can you let the right connect? Can you not direct the movie while we sitting in the thing? You know what I'm talking about. I see the smile on your face. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
And I
It's
had to
interactive.
see it. Yeah, I'm like, this is not interactive theater, you know? Can you just not, or they do this. I saw this part. Oh, yeah, let me tell you what's going to happen next. No. Don't tell me what's going to happen next. You know, and putting all these different artists together. I mean, do you have like a plan? Like, we're going to get this many graphic artists, this many designers, this kind of spoken word.
Maura actually had, we should go, I guess we should go back a little bit, because part of the vision going into this was that we would partner in the various communities. So the first version of the show we did at San Bernardino Valley College, we partnered with the Department of Theater. We had several students that were part of the theater program there, were working with us on stage. We had a faculty member, Ron Burglass was one of our narrators. So that built the partnership. It also meant, you were talking about students, it also meant that students then had an opportunity to work on something unique. Some of them even helped with the writing and creating of some of the script that we used there through the acting classes. So that was an important kind of piece of the partnership. And that allowed us to find artists in the area that would be interested. The same thing is happening at Santa Ana College. We're partnering with the Division of Fine Arts and the Department of Dance there. And one of their faculty members, Brian and Morris, saw a concert and said, wow, this would be a great featured art. So I haven't met the artist yet. We've been communicating via email. But again, because of that partnership, I've met that artist. We're working with a lighting designer who's part of the team down there. And then some of the artists that we know from previous concerts are coming into that environment. So we're creating a thing where artists who are activists, artists who are already committed to changing the way the world thinks, right? How we think about art, how we think about people, how we think about love, all of those things. And artists, will always step up, right? If it's something that we love. And so now we're bringing those artists to another community and meeting in a community and bringing a message forward. And that's really important.
It really is. And we need all the help we can get, because we're going to hell in a handbasket. And I keep putting cardboard on the bottom of my mind. I'm like, no, I'm not going out like that. I'm not going to go out like that. And it's so good to see, and it does my heart so much good to know that there are people who want to work together, who want to see a better community, who want to be there, because people don't understand, when you're putting on a show like that, they don't understand about the nuts and bolts and, what we're going to get the electricity to plug in. And, it's so many different elements. And when you could put them together and make them work in sync, that's when you know you got it. So, Brian, when did you know that this was going to be a great idea? Because you moved this concert around, don't you?
Yes, we're going to have 3 different venues. I think what excited me was that I've been around my wife and her artistic endeavors enough to see how the audience reacts to collaborations between artists. But I thought it would be a unique way to attack hate. I can write all the stories I want. We used to sing about hate crimes every single day in the news. So I don't know how powerful my stories would be to counteract that. We see it every day. So, but not everybody is used to singing it in a visual way, seeing people on dance. We have dance companies that are showcasing, the issues against, you can't help who you fall in love with. So why is that an issue? And they create a piece on stage that is just overwhelmingly emotional. I've seen that, or we see issues about Black Lives Matter or domestic violence. There are so many creative ways to attack these issues, and I didn't see anybody else that are involved in this campaign
Mhm.
that were taking an artistic vision to the campaign. So that was really why I'm really thankful to the state of California and the state library that has offered us this opportunity to join the campaign against hate. And whenever I get involved at the theaters or when we're presenting, it's very emotional for me because in the end, we're Americans. You can't say that I'm not a patriot. People don't own that position.
See,
We can be a patriot. And so if you're a patriot and you don't think I'm a patriot because I'm Black, or because if someone is gay, or if someone
we're
is
women,
or women,
we should be.
that's your problem, and we're going to fix that problem.
Right.
And
That's not my issue.
I'm not going to be insulted like that. We have just as much right as anybody else for the pursuit of happiness, and that's what this is about. We are going to engage ourselves and say, look, we want to be in a safe space to live our lives, and if you fight that against us, there are ways that we can fight back.
Mm-hmm.
And the state of California is giving us some of those resources. There are more resources than that, but at least we can highlight the state resources that are available. Because if there's a hate crime, you can tell people anonymously. You don't have to. If you're worried about repercussions, you can submit it anonymously. There are different ways of getting counseling. There are ways of getting law enforcement to get involved. There are so many resources that we're not even pursuing to fight back on hate. Those are the kind of resources that we'll be talking about at our concert between the sets of artistic expression.
And it's so important that we know our value. You got to know what your worth is, and don't let anybody. And I'm sure that both of you have gone through this. People want to tell you how you're supposed to think, tell you how you're supposed to feel. Oh, what do you mean you feel like that? Well, I think you should feel this way, and I'm like, and I think you should go pound sand someplace. How about that part? and I just want y'all to know one day I'm gonna come out of my shell. Okay, can I get this story out, Catherine? I
hope you will. I hope you will. Really let us know how you feel. Come on,
one day. See,
come on.
And when you get to be a certain age, I'm allergic to BS. It take up too much time. It takes too much energy and effort. Work with what you got. And no, I don't stay in my lane. Well, I take that back. I stay in my lane, but I just go make another lane so I can get in that. I'm just letting them know this is what the deal is. And see, they didn't give me the Hollywood handbook. You came from Detroit. Did you come to get into the business out here, Catherine?
I came out here to teach. I came out here and joined the faculty, applied and was invited to come and join the faculty at Cal State. And I have never looked back. And it's a wonderful, wonderful San Bernardino, and the Inland Empire is a wonderful community. It's a wonderful Black community. And as a Black artist coming into this environment, I have found people. I found my peoples, as we say, right? They were here, and gradually I have said
little pockets and stuff.
Little pockets, yeah, but there are plenty of them.
And there's so much creativity, to be able to what is it when you can't do you can't do it, teach it.
Yeah.
Teach. Yeah. I've been trying to be retired, and that has not worked well.
I've decided that it looks different on everyone because I just retired, and as Brian will tell you, I'm not very good at it. I'm just.
I can't tell the difference that she hasn't settled down, to say the least. She's still just hard to get a hold of.
Right? Yeah. Who says you're supposed to settle down? Who says you're supposed to settle?
See. They didn't tell me that part. And then I keynote speak around the country and around the world. And so we were at this one women's retreat in DC, and we were sitting there, and it was a beautiful event. And so we're sitting there, waiting for our cars to come and pick us up, and I'm sitting there with my husband. I'm like, what happened? I thought I was retired. The lady got up from her chair, came over to my table, sat down. She said, now, Mother Love, I just want to tell you this. I was like, oh. She said, You don't retire. We don't retire. We just, but let me tell you what retirement means. It means that you get to do what the heck you want to do, when you want to do it, like you want to do it.
Okay.
Okay. So I guess I'm never going to retire.
That's right. That's
Now,
right.
I'm just going to be dead. I tell them I'm probably going to fall dead on the keyboard. And now next question. She out. She down for the count. And to just, I'm glad you brought up Bill Cobb. What a beautiful human being. And I'm just so honored to when I get to meet the legends, And I remember I'm from Cleveland. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Chermu House. It was it still is one of the premier African American ensembles in Cleveland, Ohio. And when I was young, my mother made me go because she said, either go to the theater, or I'm gonna kill you. Take your pick. And if I kill you, I'm gonna kill you, rest of your brothers and sisters. So they'll all go put me in jail for being crazy. I ain't gonna go to jail. They're gonna put me in the nut house. She might do that too. And so we went to Cameron House, and I was a young person, and I didn't even realize the power of these people that were coming through there. Bill Cobb, he came to teach a class. I met Sidney Poitier and Ruby Dee and Ozzie Davis and Roscoe Lee Brown and, all these powerhouse people. And I'm sitting up in the class go, why I got to listen to these old people talk about theater? Can I go outside and play? Till when I realized the power and the energy and the education that they all came, and they didn't have to come there. Caramel House is sitting in the middle of the hood, and they just came so that we could see. They use it now. When you see her, you can be her. When you see him, you could be him. And that's right. Where we come in as the new leaders. And don't think these kids, they bobo heads and they crazy. And sometimes you got to take them to the whoop shack, but they're watching everything you do. They're watching everything that you say. And sometimes, so tell me what the process is like, because you got all these different artists. Now, do they have to come in an audition? Do they send you a piece? How does that work?
They are, depending on some of them, like I said, we know, so we can say, hey, we're doing this. Would you add something? We had a wonderful experience in San Bernardino. The poet Romaine Washington, who is very well known here in the Inland Empire, and I had worked with her on a completely unrelated project. But when we were putting the show together, I said, Morris said, wouldn't it be nice if we had a spoken word piece? And her name came to me. So I went to Romaine and said, we're doing this event. Could you come? And initially she wasn't available, but then her schedule changed. So she called me back. I told her what we were doing. And in fact, I had found a poem of hers that I thought would be appropriate. And I said, would you be willing to share this? She took that poem and made a new poem to speak very specifically to this Stop the Hate campaign, because she felt that strongly about it. In fact, put together images to go with the poetry. It was wonderful. And the other thing that was wonderful in this is we leave a little space. We have people that we know are going to present, and then we leave a little space for the magic to happen, right? Or somebody to say, can I talk about this at this point? Can I share this? Would that be okay? And so yes, we kind of blend that in. You know how you cook a little bit and something else is there and you say, that will add. Okay, it's like that.
And I totally get that. I cook all the time. And I'm going around the world with my culinary skills. I'm into the Mediterranean food.
All right.
And I love African food. And I like people that can cook. I like to cook. I'm going down with it. I'm going. And everybody was there. We had a house full of people yesterday. I'm like, where did these people show up? Nobody invite these people over to my house. What did y'all do? Coming in groups. I'm like, I'll go back in the kitchen. Let me make a pot of green beans. Let me go make some whatever it is. I'm gonna whip it up, and do the thing. And to me, that's one of the biggest compliments that you can have, when people will sit at your table and enjoy the food. And this is my favorite. I try something new. I introduce them to a new thing, around the holiday time, and I'm like, they're not gonna eat this. And I found out they have really expensive tastes. So I love seafood. If I can see it, I'm gonna eat it. I'm just letting you know. If it's I got it going on. And so I said, I wonder if they'll like this. So I get it. And Chilean sea bass is not cheap, right? So
Right.
give me a nice little piece like this. I'm like, they're not gonna eat. Girl, if I tell you them Negroes and other assorted colored people that were at my house, talking about, well, I don't think you got enough. I was like, well, did you bring a chicken check and I can go get you some more from the fish market? I'm like, really? Fell in love with it. One of them said, I never would have thought about trying to eat this. And that's what we have to introduce, what we know to the next generation because, they coming behind us. And what are we going to leave them? What kind of foundation are they going to be able to stand on? And the fact that we had the arts,
Yes.
we had instruments, we had band, we had choral, we had gymnastics, and then they wonder how come these kids are so lazy because you're letting them be lazy. Yeah. Remember when they would say, go outside and play, but you better be home by the time street lights came on.
but be on the porch by the time. Be on the porch.
Well, you could get to the porch. We had to be on the other side of the door. My mother never gave me a key to the house. I said, how come everybody else got a key? Because she said, I want to know where you been and how long you been there. Because see, I got to watch you. See, I know about you. Mm-hmm. And when they tell you, I can hear you. I'm like, I ain't even said nothing. I ain't say, because see, mothers, and parents, they had that like Yoda stuff. Yeah, they got the Yoda stuff. I'm like, and they do. When they tell you that they know, they know. And
they can hear you.
As she said, I was a problem child. I just asked a lot of questions. That's all.
Well, you were inquisitive.
Thank you. That was the word. She was like, yeah, go over there, sit your inquisitive self down.
You mentioned that the importance of the arts, and I want to be sure and point out that this event is free.
See,
that was the other
with that part.
That was the other thing that was amazing in the concept when, as Brian and Maura and I were putting it together, was that this work is being funded by a grant. So the audience is invited to come and participate. There is no fee because this is informational, right? This is about giving you some information, not only about the California Stop the Hate campaign, but about some artists that are in your community. I mentioned Romaine. I'll mention William Lacey's a fabulous singer. With us, BB Moves, Bernard Brown, an international dance company. Of course, Maura Townsend Dance. Fuse Dance Company is the local dancer there at in the Orange area.
Orange County.
In the Orange County.
Okay. Did she say in the Orange area?
Yeah, not the
I
Orange.
know what you meant.
You know and so we've got them and Deborah Brackus Dance is going to be. Oh, and Seda Abe, who is it's a Turkish dance company, Kaybeli Dance. So you're going to get the information. You're going to get exposed to a variety of artists. And the artists' responses to this idea, we were just talking about hate and how in so many ways, right, this impacts our whole communities. You mentioned the children. If children grow up in environments where there is hate, they feel that. They know that. They're not stupid.
And hate is
the other thing
just like love is taught, hate is taught.
Oh yes. Oh, yes.
The other thing that was interesting is that we had, during the last presentation, we gave the audience an opportunity to give us comments on what they were experiencing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And people stood up and had never admitted publicly about hate incidents against them personally. And they felt empowered enough to stand up and talk about their experience and how they felt that they could now engage and help themselves get over the incident. So the impact of the audience was very powerful, a lot more powerful than I even expected. But we had 3 people stand up and just talk for the first time about incidents and in detail, and they were near tears, and you just felt for them. And I mean, after the concert, I just couldn't wait to go up to one of them and hug them. I just felt so bad that I wasn't there to help them at the time. So it's just a very powerful, art is very powerful.
Very.
You go to the theater all the time and you see people crying and laughing. It's all, it brings out the emotions. And this concert will do that as well. You'll get a lot of information, but you'll see people in your community. You'll recognize things in your own community by watching the art that you're experiencing. So it'll be a great experience. And it's free. It's in Santa
Now,
Ana.
I was just going to say, let's give the particulars. Where is it going to be? What
It,
time we got to be there?
it starts at
I'll be
7
my
o'clock.
blowhorn in the car.
Thank you. It starts at 7 p.m. on July 11th. This next Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
It's free at Santa Ana College at Phillips Hall on 17th Street. If there are groups that want to attend, we have a special that if you bring 10 people, we'll recognize you specifically for fighting against hate because it shows your commitment to the cause. We want people to come, but we've already had one organization that has already committed to bringing 10 people just last night. So, as the people are finding out about it, they're really engaging and supporting the efforts. So it's a nice sized theater. We don't expect it to sell out, so you can come. Don't be worried about because it's free that you're going to be stuck outside, but it'll be a nice size. It'd be a great experience. Very technical. We have all professionals. It's not a recital. These are all professional artists. They make a living at doing what they're doing. So we made sure that it's not just it's a community event, but we're using artists that this is how they live. This is what they project on a daily basis. So
I should mention the two narrators that we were fortunate to get: Joyce Lee, who's a filmmaker, performer, writer, and producer, and Maurice Kitchen, who is also out of the Inner City Cultural Center, who is an award-winning producer director and also works in creative media. So, and these two individuals will serve as our narrators, providing the background information on the California Stop the Hate campaign and introducing the various companies. So they'll bring their personalities and energy to the event, which should be really looking forward to working with them.
This would really be good for especially teenagers who have all this nervous energy, and to come out and be able to see that this is what they too can do this. They don't have to be using all this vile language and what have you. And it's just, they done just got so lazy. They act like, okay, what is this one? Where's my thing? Here, sit down in front of the computer. Don't talk to me. Go over there. I don't want to have anything to do with you. Just play with your toy.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Well, I don't know if it's lazy. I think that's where, with all this, the way all these platforms are available, they just don't know how to interact socially anymore. And so, I have my granddaughter is very young, and she loves being on stage now. She's in elementary.
I wonder where she got that from, huh?
She loves it. She loves to sing. She loves to be on stage.
How old is she?
She's 12.
Oh, that's the good age, and you already know what you know.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
all right.
So I think when the kids start discovering that they can release their energy on stage, they really take to it. It's just a matter of exposing them. We've got to get better at exposing our young people to all the different avenues that are available to them. And get them out of their phone and see real life.
I'm so glad that you said that, because I think this is a great opportunity for some young people to come out, and I hope that some people who are watching will not only will they get to see professional artists performing, but they will also hear important themes and ideas. And there isn't anything in the evening. I don't think there's nothing X-rated, is there, Brian?
But there's a mature theme because
there are some mature themes because we're talking about hate, and
right.
we're talking about,
and it can be really ugly.
It can be very ugly, and we're not trying to, step. Well, we are creative in our performance, but we're certainly not trying to ignore,
And you're not sugarcoating it. When people feel compelled. And like you said, Brian, that you would have never thought that they never would have thought that they would get up and share something so personal and so intimate. That would let you know that you all have created a safe space, a safe place for them to, to be able to bring that out. And a lot of times, people just be holding it in. And then if you tell, I'll never tell people, you got to get over it. I'm never going to get over my mother dying at a young age. That is just not going to ever happen.
Right.
I wanted to find the tools and have the tools that allow me to keep my creative energy going, and letting her know that she knew she didn't make any junk. She had 6 kids, and she never remarried after our father died, and she did what she had to do when she had to do it, and she always kept us exposed to the arts. We were the only kids in the projects that had 2 sets of encyclopedias. We had the Britannica and one of the other ones, the set of encyclopedias. I hated them because when you got in trouble, you had to hold them up like this, on your hands. See, I remember that. That was the Jedi Mind stuff that they would do to you. And people would always come. The kids would always come and be at our house. I mean, I remember, she'll say, Mama, what's on so and such and such? And do you know? She said, no, I don't know that, but that's a good question. Come on, put your coat on. We're going to walk down to the library. I learned the hard way. Don't be asking her stuff that you don't know, because then we're going to have to go to the library, rain, snow, sleet, or hail. And she gave us all this sense of being educated and being exposed to different parts of the arts. I would have never thought that you would have put a singer and a ballerina. These are artists. These are professional people. And she kept us exposed to that. We were allowed to go to camp. We went to, I thought it was for us. She was like, no, I can get rid of y'all for 2 weeks. 2 at a time. And we never felt like we lacked anything. We really did. I didn't know we were poor till when I turned 16. She told me she wasn't going to buy me a car. I'm like, mother, I get very good grades. She said, you don't have no job. That's what you're supposed to do. I was like, dang. I don't even know why I'm even talking to this woman. And she said, you want a car? You better go get a job. Well, I have been working for 2 years. I started working at 14. So think about the time I get to 16, I have at least half of the money. And she's like, I'm buying you a car. I tell you what, I'll get you a bus pass. And that's what we need. That's what we need. We need stern people who will love us with not with kick guns, but tell us the truth. And a lot of us, they're trying to sugarcoat this. Or you don't need to do that, or you don't need to be responsible. Look at this doofus face that I got froze on. And it's so. Now, let me ask you, Brian. Are you? What is your favorite, or do you have a favorite? It's like picking kids.
Favorite in the concert, you mean?
Well, I mean, because there's so many different genres. I mean, you got.
Well,
I
can't name a favorite because my wife is performing. So I don't want to sound like
besides your wife,
I'd have to choose her.
Nope, nope. She's not on the agenda.
But
that's gonna be number one, right?
She's a wonderful artist, and you're gonna love seeing her on stage.
Oh, I'm sure. We're planning to be there. I want to come.
But the important thing to me, also, before I forget, I'm really thankful for Santa Ana College and the dance department, because we went to them seeking a venue for our concert. And when we gave them the concept that we were trying to pursue, not only did they, say yes to the venue, they wanted to partner with us because it fits their mission. They want, this community college wants to be part of the community. They don't want to be part of the ivory tower. They want to be in the community, supporting the community. And so, they made their faculty available to support the effort. They had their technical people available to support our effort. So they're fully engaged in this production. Even though we're producing it, Santa Ana College and the dance department at Santa Ana College are fully engaged in making this a success. And so we're very thankful about that.
Absolutely.
Now that's really cool. So now you've done these before. Is it a traveling show, or do you go from city to city, community to community, and pull from the artists that are inside that community?
We try very hard to include the artists in the community. That sometimes can be challenging because, we're not necessarily from the community. Brian has better ties to this particular community because of the newspaper. I'm very unfamiliar. However, we all speak the language of art. Isn't that interesting? Brian was talking about how the Santa Ana College folks came forward and helped us find a lighting designer, introduced us to their faculty, who in turn are participating in the concert because they love the arts, and they recognize the importance of this message of stopping the hate, of informing people, right?
and understanding that we have control. We can take control of that. We can control how we're going to present ourselves and our community out there in the world when we pool our resources together.
That's right.
I don't know. I'm a community person like that too. You know, shop in the same grocery store. They be cracking me up. Ain't there nothing up? I'm like, yeah, y'all don't have to whisper. I can hear you.
Well, you know,
They, what you doing in here? I'm like, it's called shopping. This activity
Yeah.
is called grocery shopping. This
Yeah.
activity is called car shopping. But you got look, my husband to this day has not allowed. I can't have a housekeeper. I can't. He talking about, "No, now you gonna be lazy." I'm like, but this is what I do. He like, yeah, okay. Not a housekeeper. I better not come in here and find some woman that ain't, cooking my food. I'm like, okay, sleep with the maid. I don't care. Are you kidding? When you get to be my age, okay, that's a lot of wear and tear. Let's just put that over there someplace. And but to be rooted in the community, and that was an issue that was important for me when I came out here to California in 1989 with you. See, it was just a matter of time before we hooked up.
Wow.
I came here and they sent for me. See, you came to teach. They sent for me. I was minding my own business in Cleveland on the radio. I wasn't bothering anybody. I was just doing my mother love thing. And then the guy called me up that I worked for at the radio station in Cleveland. He said, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to shake up LA Talk Radio. And they brought me.
Wow.
And they forgot to tell me, then they give me the Hollywood handbook. So when they start talking stupid to me, I say, you sound stupid. You're an adult, or you want me to be stupid? Which one is how? Oh, mother love, you can't do that. You have to. I said, oh wait, I had to get them told quickly. Let me tell you what I have to do. I have to stay black, die, and pay taxes. And 2 days I'm not to do it. And that's die and pay taxes. And it took them a minute to get that through their head. And I'm a pretty smart woman like you are. Don't you want to surround yourself with like-minded people? I want to be the dumbest one in the room.
Yep. Right. Mm-hmm.
And that's all right. And that's what we need. And our young people, I'm concerned about a lot of them because they're just falling through the cracks, and they don't feel like they have a safe place, a safe space like you guys are creating. So is this the only one you're doing? Are you moving around some more?
we have one more venue. We have a total of 3 presentations,
Mm-hmm.
and the goal is it is somewhat of a traveling show, but we do try and localize each venue. Like Kathy was saying, we find local artists. We actually describe local incidents. We don't just talk about things that are happening around the country. We're talking about things that are happening in our own communities and give specific incidents that have happened and how they are being fought against. What the resources are, not only with the state of California, but locally in that community. Mm-hmm. So then we'll have one more that we're still negotiating the venue, so I can't give the third site yet. But it'll be within our circulation area, which is the Inland Empire, Orange County, or Long Beach. So it'll be in one of those 3 areas. We have a third one at the end of the summer. Mm-hmm. So then we'll be done.
Okay, but it's going to be in the same place or a different venue?
It'll be a different venue. Each venue is different.
Okay.
We try and move it around to different communities so that other people can take advantage of learning the resources. We don't want to just be in one location, just giving that information over and over again. So we did the first one in San Bernardino, the second one is in Santa Ana, and the third one will be somewhere closer to Long Beach.
Okay.
How
long is the show?
It'll be over an hour, not much more than an hour. There won't be an intermission. So
75 to 90 minutes, I think, is what we're aiming for. Mm-hmm. And there is no intermission. I mean, so you come and you have the whole experience, and the experience includes, there is a moment when we will invite the audience to share with each other and to share, with community if they would like, So it is entertaining, it is informational, it is communal, as all good art is communal. We have an experience together. It, as Brian has already said, is meaningful. It draws emotions from us and gives us an opportunity to share our experiences as human beings. So we're hoping that's what will happen.
Oh, I think you guys know what you're doing, and you know why you're doing it. And it's so important that my thing is, I just have a hard time dealing with the talent, with the art departments being decimated around the country. And when you think about, I mean, when you were growing up and going to school, didn't everybody have to be involved in some kind of activity?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, everybody when I was in school. Now this is how long ago that was. When I was in school, we learned to dance. We learned square dance.
Mhm.
We learned that country dancing. We learned swing dancing. We learned and we learned a little bit of jazz and ballet.
Mhm.
And that was in school, like as part of the regular day from 8 o'clock to 3:30 or whatever. And those programs, as you said, have in many places been cut, right? So this and when we cut the programs, we also cut the artists that were teaching those programs. So this concert is also an important opportunity for artists to make their to introduce themselves to communities, because I'm sure there are people in at Santa Ana who are not familiar with Joshua Estrada Romero is the artist. They will have an opportunity to see and meet him, or if they had him in class, maybe they don't know what a world-class dancer he is, which is frequently what happens, right? We meet people in one way and we don't know, oh my gosh, they can do that too. Oh, amazing. And the other thing about dance especially is, I was thinking about this, Brian, when you see dancers, you are watching human beings. They're human beings. They have a body like you have a body, and you see what happens to them as they express on stage in wonderful, graceful, athletic ways. And
that's how I found my wife. That's how I found my wife. I had never
Is it
seen
really?
That
okay, wait a minute. Okay, I want to hear the story.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, everybody. I just want to make a note, a mechanical note. The screens have frozen, and mine is frozen. I'm looking at a spaceship getting ready to come out. Now she just. Now he's back. Well, anyway, we go. What?
No, she's.
Oh, there she is.
Everybody else.
Okay, everybody's working. Let me see. Can you hear me still?
Oh,
I can still hear you.
Okay, that's cool. So, and I want to thank all the people who have been calling in. Mike Eunice, he called in. He was saying something. That's the guy that discovered me in Cleveland, put me on the radio in Cleveland. But everybody at my husband's job when we were there, they thought he was married to a white woman because I was on a white radio station, and no black woman had ever been on a white radio station doing morning and afternoon drive. How about that? Okay, and they taught me how to, work the thing and, do the thing. And I keep saying, when the work stops in California, I'm moving out. Okay, the work don't stop. Remember, I told y'all about the retirement story. That didn't work with any of us. So now, because you are, this takes up a lot. It takes a lot of time, and the devil is in the details and making sure that, you got all the bells and whistles and the nuts and bolts and carrying on. How do you decompress after something this big and this emotional? I mean, what do you do? Like, do you travel? You go swimming? I read a lot.
Are you inviting us to the pool party? I'm coming. No.
Well, actually, we also decompress on site because we'll have a pre-reception and a post-reception after the concert, because people will want to engage with each other after seeing the stage. We found that last time that people didn't want to leave. They want, you have to leave because you may have to work the next day or have class. But they want to engage with each other and talk about what they've just seen and share their emotions. And so it's a very interpersonal community event. And so we'll make sure that there will be people there that, we're going to engage with everybody. The performers will stay and interact with the audience after the fact. So it'll be a very special event.
It just sounds like a wonderful event, and I want to just say thank you to Cynthia Busby and Busby Promotions, because she always hooks me up with the best.
Yes.
I don't have to question it. I don't have to. We just gonna do it. I mean, you guys are here today. Melba Moore is coming on next week. I do the. I don't know if you guys remember the TV show I hosted a long time ago, Forgive or Forget. Well, we do a Saturday reminiscing about it, and the guy his name is Shaq C out of New York, a kid. And I used to
Mm.
always say, the kids gonna keep me working. The kids and the kids keep me working. And I always knew that. I don't know why I knew that, but they do. And he was like, "Oh, mother love, I used to watch you with my mother and grandmother way back in the day." And I'm like, way back. Oh, I guess it was way back in the day, huh? It goes by so fast. So what do you do to relax, Brian?
I rely on my wife to maintain our social calendar.
You know what? I'm
Whatever
like
she's,
sick of y'all.
wherever we
Y'all
just got back from a
see,
little vacation,
see, that's a good
and
husband. I just do what she tell me to do.
That's it. Okay.
right, right.
You
Well,
know.
yeah, I have too much. I already stress on everything else, so why I don't want to stress at home.
See,
And that's why this works. Because when I come home, I don't stress.
you at home and you're in your
So
safe place and in your safe
right,
space. You know, I
right, and my
have
wife is
all the stuff around me. Our
and
grandchildren, we have 4 grandchildren. And
Wow.
yeah, I know. I call them little pimps. That's what I call them. They always in my pocket and I ain't getting nothing for it. So
mm-mm.
I'm like, go get it out. But you're an hour. And they told me a couple of weeks ago that there's old people and then there's old people. And I was like, I didn't understand. See, I had that exact look on my face. I was like, what's that mean? So they said, well, you and Papa, y'all old people, but y'all not old people. I'm like, what's old? You know, when your voice start cracking and everything broke down and you can't
Yeah.
take you 15 minutes to go to the bathroom and stuff. I was like, what kind of people y'all around? And they were like, see, y'all just old because y'all always going, y'all always got a house full of company, y'all traveling. We got to find out, are you even in this time zone? Are you even on this part of the world?
Yeah. Yep.
And you have to have an outlet,
Right,
for yourself
right,
because when you do
right.
what you guys are doing, that takes a lot out of you. And that means you have to have that much more in. And see, I'm like you, Brian. Listen, when I come home, that's it. That's all. I leave it on the floor because
But
tomorrow's a different day.
I think that the artists, though, I think that they relax by being creative.
Hmm.
I
Yes.
think my wife is happiest when she's creating, so
Yeah.
that's relaxing for her.
So what
And
does
So
she do? You said she's a dancer, a singer.
she's
yes.
a dancer and choreographer,
Yes.
and
And she
what
teaches dance.
and
She
she teaches.
teaches dance as well and Pilates.
I wanted to get into that, but then it meant I had to move a lot, move and make
But
body
that's good.
parts I
That's
didn't
good
know
at
I
our
had
age, though.
work. I didn't
That's
even
a
know you
good
could
thing at
have a
our
pain
age.
in the back of your knee. I was like,
Yeah.
what? And then every day it's like, I don't know this because you know what? This getting old stuff. I got ask me. Go ahead. You can say, ask me, mother love. When did you get old? Go ahead, ask me. Either one.
When
Mother
was that?
love, when did you
It
get old?
hasn't happened yet.
Tomorrow. I ain't got time for that crap today. I got things to do. Ain't nobody got time for no old people stuff.
Right, right.
And when you think about it, you just keep moving. When you go out on stage. Now, are you a performer as well, or you Mr. Director? You the producer, Brian?
Oh, I have two left feet, so I'm not the performer.
You know what?
But
Wait,
no,
wait.
I love the business that I'm in. It's changed dramatically. Newspapers have changed. We're multi-platform. You can't just have a printed product anymore. So I've had to relearn how to maintain my business at this point. I thought I'd be relaxing more at my age, and in fact, it's like starting over again. I've been doing this for over 30 years, so and now I'm trying to figure out how to go from print to digital and being all these various platforms like you are. So it's just it's exciting,
Yes.
and we're finding ways to be successful. But as far as artistic expression, I learned that from my wife. I had never really experienced. I've always been a professional business person,
Mhm.
and when I saw my wife perform and how intricate it was, and how rehearsals are so important,
Mhm.
I just really fell in love with that. I mean, I had never thought about that side of the world before. So she gives that to me, and that's why we've been together almost 30 years now.
Yeah.
Oh, you still got milk behind your ear. That's what I smell. That's new stuff. You know, and that's something that we don't see often anymore. I mean, I grew up in a neighborhood where the father was there, the mother was there, and if the mother and father
Right?
was, and they knew everybody in the neighborhood knew your business. Everybody.
Exactly.
You could get snatched by Miss bring her Miss Bell. Let me tell you what this little one right here was down there doing. I had to come
Mhm.
snatch it out in her behind. I was like, oh, and then you go get another whooping because somebody had to check you outside. Then
Right.
she called up all her sisters and brothers. And let me tell you what she did, Lord Jesus, just take the wheel because this child gonna be the death of me. And I'm like, why you got to call everybody? Why you got to tell everybody? I mean, what's the deal with that?
So we
I
need to
just
bring it back.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, it takes a village.
So
It
mother,
takes
mother,
village.
I have to share that only in the last 10 years have I learned that many people that I called auntie and uncle were not blood relatives.
Oh,
Okay. I thought they were. I have grown up my whole life thinking,
well, okay. Thinking that's Uncle Bob. I'm
yeah,
like, so
yeah,
how
yeah,
you my uncle? You my daddy's brother or you my mother's brother?
yeah, no.
I ain't related to y'all. I'm like,
They
well,
was
how come they
family. They was
Aunt
from the
June and
neighborhood.
Uncle Bob? You know,
Yeah, we had a lot of
and,
those.
and I think it's our responsibility as the elders now, as we're doing our thing and not fading off into the sunset because we don't do that well. I could see that already. Neither one of you do that well.
That's
But I
right.
think that's part of, yeah, as we build community, that's how you fight hate.
Mhm.
Yes.
Because I find many times, it's surprising. I've talked to people on the other side of the political spectrum than myself, and we always find common ground.
Mhm.
If you converse with somebody, if you find out where they're coming from and they find out where you're coming from,
Mhm.
find ways to engage with each other. That's why when you make friends, it's somebody you meet for the first time, and then you make it click. And when you go to school in your class,
Mhm.
you find classmates that you feel close to. So it's not like you have a finite number of chances to meet people and to engage and be close to someone. It's
That's
building community. Everyone you meet is a possibility of a new friend. I've had many times.
Absolutely.
I've been on different boards where, I knew a guy that literally had a red neck. He was so red, and he was a redneck. And yet, the two of us would get together on this board, and we made things happen because we found ways where I would be satisfied, and he would be satisfied, and we could move forward in the direction we wanted the board to go in.
That's right.
And
So, it's
oftentimes
not a matter of being on the same page; it's finding that common ground on the pages where
they
you
can
stand.
change your attitude about look at it from that point of view.
Yep.
So that's what we're trying to do with anti-hate, with this
Always.
campaign, is to build community. As you build
I
community,
don't know what's
hate will
going
subside.
on, but nonetheless,
I hear Mother Love trying to say something, but I'm not hearing all of what she's saying.
Uh-oh. Yep. I think we're frozen. So I'm going to say thank you so much for having us on to share this information. I hope, Mother, you will come to the concert
okay.
and we'll have a
Can you
chance to
guys still
see
hear
you in
me?
person because you look amazing on this screen. And I know use my peoples now. Mm.
And we love your energy.
Yes,
And so
yes, yes. And we
you're part of
really
this
appreciate
process.
the opportunity to get the word out about this upcoming event. It's going to be quite special. And I guarantee thoughtful and thought provoking
And empowering.
and empowering. At
So
Santa Ana Thursday. Yeah, today's Friday, not quite a week. At 7 p.m. An exciting lineup of artists. Joyce Lee and Maurice Kitchener will be narrating. Maurice Kitchen, I'm sorry, will be narrating the event and will be featuring Fuse Dance Company, Maura Townsend Dance, Kybelly Dance, and BB Moves, all renowned dance companies from the greater Los Angeles area. And it'll be phenomenal. And William Lacey will sing contemporary music that you will know, protest songs, and reminders of your commitment to be energized against hate.
please come to the concert. We're looking forward to seeing all of you there in Santa Ana for this version of our anti-hate campaign, the activist artists that are coming to bring you a special message.
Thank you.
We want to remind the people that want to bring groups that they can, if you bring 10 people or more, we'll give you a certificate and recognize you that night from the podium of your support of the anti-hate campaign. So, bring friends and loved ones. If we have groups, different fraternities and sororities, if you want to come as chapters, please do that. Please reach out to the people on your list, on your platforms, and just bring everybody that wants to end hate in Orange County. Bring them to the concert. Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mother Love, for inviting us onto your program. We wish you much success on your show, and we hope you come to visit our concert. And we look forward to collaborating with you and more in the future as well. And thank you, Kathy.
Yes, thank you, Brian. All right, we'll see you Thursday.
Okay, bye bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Okay. Uh, go to the help button.
and we want to ask them that would let them know that the system froze when we were doing a live show, and what can you do as a host to fix that? Or
Okay. What brings you here today?
okay, women is not typing. There we go. I'm down.
Okay,
We
right.
typed down
I
there.
want to.
Okay. Okay, I'm not listening.
You're having an issue. Could you please tell us more about what happened? Meanwhile, we will transfer you to the next available support representative. Okay. During my live show today, 7/5/24, the screen kept freezing. I had two guests and myself. Their screens froze. Then the audio was reverbing and it sounded like we were talking over each other. What can we do on this end to smooth this issue?
Okay, and then their feed was perfect, and only my screen, the main screen, was frozen.
Okay. That's a word. Oh, and I'll be assisting you.
Okay.
Okay, I just want to read what it say. Meanwhile, hello there. My name is Dan.
Right, right here. We send them a message now about that. Okay, all right. Okay, bye.
That's what Cynthia.
Yes, because you're still alive.